I am a Purdy guy. I do believe in him. He's
Mhm.
only a second-year quarterback. I think he's done a tremendous job. He's had some hiccups, but this is going to be, I don't want to say a test for him because I don't really feel like he needs to prove himself every week like some people do.
Yeah.
But it's a huge game. And any quarterback in a huge game, you want to see how they're going to do and
Well,
how they're going to respond. And
I would say too that so with Jalen here in Philadelphia, there was a lot of talk of, well, he's a product of the system. He's a product of the head coach. He's a product of the players around him. And maybe he himself is not that special. In my experience, a team is always as good as their quarterback, like point blank,
yeah,
period. Like that you can have great receivers, great coaches, whatever. If your quarterback's not great, you're not going to be a great team. So I think Purdy, to your point, he's only started a year and a half. I'm not ready to say he's like one of the top 5 quarterbacks. But one area where I maybe am with you on the Niners is like, Purdy deserves time to continue to be the guy. And I think a lot of questions about him are unfair. Like I think a lot of the questions people hate here in Philadelphia about Jalen also apply to Brock Purdy. And I think the Niners, like if this can be your guy, and he has been so far, that's massive for the franchise. And I think not that you're doing this, but to maybe any Niners fans that do, my advice would be like, don't discredit him because of what's around him, because an NFL team, like the quarterback's the engine. I don't care how great the exterior of the car is. You can, whatever. Purdy's the one that makes that team go. So I have turned around my opinion on Purdy for sure.
And I think any quarterback is a system quarterback to an extent. I mean, Joe Montana wasn't running the run and shoot. Yep. He was a West Coast guy, and Hurt shouldn't apologize for having A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, just like Purdy shouldn't apologize for having
all the great quarterbacks. Look, Josh Allen has great receivers. Joe Burrow has great receivers. People point to Patrick Mahomes, but he has Andy Reid and Travis Kelce. So like that's a massive advantage as well.
Tight end of all time. Exactly. Yeah. One of the best play callers. So yeah, I agree with you. I think we have a tendency to take the temperature of things too much. Like you have to let things play out, and that may be over a couple of years sometimes, but